we're in the heart of Times Square, as you can probably tell. I'll take your picture. Say cheese. Okay, now say OriginClear. What's up, brother? We're gonna head into the studio. We've got an interview with New to the Street coming up, which we do monthly. And it's gonna be airing on Fox News, on Newsmax, and on Bloomberg. We're gonna be breaking a little bit of news, some really exciting stuff, and I'm looking forward to it.
OriginClear is doing some very innovative things with water, and it involves decentralization of water. With me is Kim Berenger, the Executive Vice President of OriginClear and also co-creator of Water on Demand. So let's start with, I saw that you had a nearly triple revenue increase.
Yes,
year over year.
Thanks for having me.
Great to have you
back. Great to see you again.
So, I mean, that's something to be commended, especially as the economy is slowed down a little bit.
We released a couple of different numbers. Our revenue was nearly tripled at 250%, which in the water business, I mean, they're popping champagne if you're up 10% year over year.
Right. It's very steady.
Slow-moving business.
Yeah.
Right.
It's utility.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So that's kind of a stunning number. Our gross profit for the company was up 262%. And again, another near triple. So
these are year over year numbers.
Year over year, 21 through 22. We just released the final year-end numbers. So what we're really proud of is the team. They have consistently delivered results for us. And what I think is probably the most exciting part is we just announced the transfer of our Modular Water Systems to our holistic water as a service division, Water on Demand. And what this allows for us to do is combine both the technology and the finance to deliver unlimited scalability in the water business. This is a $1 trillion problem. Okay, so $1 trillion problems are not going to be solved by any one single company or probably any 100 companies. The ability to integrate finance, total service, kind of a holistic view, with actual technology that is, kind of drop and go and can be removed. We think that's the key to being able to scale this globally eventually.
Right. Okay, so let's back up for a second and talk a little bit about what OriginClear does. So, and I mentioned decentralization. So you're essentially providing small businesses, other entities, their own water system, where they can recycle the water. You provide financing for them if they need that as well. So explain the business.
Right, it's more than finance. So yeah, that is the core of it, and that makes it very easy to kind of digest. But 90% of the water in the world goes untreated. Most of our polluted water is not coming from Nestle, it's not coming from Pepsi, it's not coming from Anheuser-Busch, who are massive companies who can install $10 million systems and basically staff them on a 24-hour basis, okay? Most of the pollution is coming from the edges, from kind of the outskirts in smaller businesses that are extremely capital limited. People that don't have access to, and I mentioned to you in a previous interview that if you're Anheuser-Busch or you're Pepsi, you have the money, you have the staff, you've basically got your own private utility. 99% of small businesses don't have the capital, they don't have the expertise, and they don't have the bandwidth to be in the water business. Okay? They need to make beer, they need to be a farm, they need to manufacture chips, whatever it is. Right. So the total outsourcing of water treatment allows us to say to a end user, chip maker, don't worry about the $1 million system. We're going to put it right on your site, okay? Now, we're going to provide expert 24-hour-a-day monitoring, we're going to service it, it's all in your pay by the gallon. It's $1 million system that you now do not have to pay $1 million for, we'll take care of it. The business model is exciting, and we think that the street's going to be very excited about it because Water on Demand owns the asset, that 20 or 25-year contract, we own that. And instead of having a one-and-done type of, great, I sold $1 million piece of equipment, now I'm out of business again type thing, it's now it's a multi-decade relationship to the end user. And the revenue generated off a system is many, 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 many times that of a one-time sale. So it's a great model. It's almost like owning real estate in a way. You're going to get rent rolls. You're going to get a turnover on property, forever.
Yeah.
Very attractive.
And you're investing $500,000 a month?
We had great revenue growth, great profit growth. We're still investing about $500,000 a month in the company, but those investments, as you can see, are paying off. So we're really, really happy about that.
And then also, you've just incubated your first water company. Explain that.
So what OriginClear did was it fashioned itself as a clean water incubation hub or a clean water innovation hub. What we wanted to do, we had a bunch of really valuable properties, modular water systems, progressive water systems, water on demand. What we wanted to do is nurture them, get them strong enough, and then have them also, maybe go to a national market or whatever. So our first successful incubation is Modular Water Systems. This is a company that we started from scratch 5 years ago. I mean, literally, Dan Early walked in the door and we built a company around him and his patents and his ideas. So from literally zero, we were able to transfer Modular Water Systems to our other division, which is the whole water as a service model, right? We transferred and this is the synergy between this technology and the ability to scale it can't be understated. But we were able to transfer that property, if you will, to water on demand for many, many times what our investment was. And that is essentially I would call that the benchmark for a successful incubation. Buy it cheap, sell it or transfer it for a lot more.
Well, and that's an interesting aspect of your business. As you grow, you might be able to also incubate other innovative water companies.
Our hope is to be able to kind of raise the kids, get them off to college, get them, pay for Harvard Law, pay for Harvard Law, and then the kids can, pay us back. Water is a technology-based business. It's not pipes and valves. This is a highly technologically advanced business. And there is no incubation or incubator for water technology or aquatech, as they refer to it now. We set out to be the world's first incubator for water technology. And happily, and I'm very proud of the team for this, we've successfully incubated our first with the only meaningful benchmark that makes any sense, right? We started out with virtually zero and was able to transfer it for, like I said, many, many fold our investment.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, and such a problem with water and cleanliness of it and lack of it, and you're really trying to address that.
It's an upstream problem. Right now, we treat it downstream. Right? Everything flows downstream to a centralized water plant here in New York City. I grew up, New York City water was the best water. Not so much anymore, right? Because everything's coming up from upstream down to downstream. They're doing their best, but you got 80 million different contaminants in your water. How can one centralized system possibly address that? If you treat the water at the place it's being contaminated and you address those specific contaminants with a private, decentralized water utility, the quality of that water coming to the centralized system is better. And if you charge the polluter, right, you and I are paying for water, okay? We're paying the same as the guy who produces millions of gallons a month, okay? That's crazy, right? And he's the one polluting it, we're not, okay? So if you charge the end user, you're actually saving that business a fortune, okay? So he's happy. But the quality of what comes down to the end user is much, much better. And potentially, we can start to deliver water in decades to come cheaper or even free.
Yeah, interesting. Well, thank you so much, Ken,
for
the update, and look forward to the next one. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to be heading up to Neuhaus. I'm going to be going into the studio, and I'm going to be sharing some of the items that we can now talk about with respect to water on demand.
You just recently announced Modular Water Systems merged with Water on Demand. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So what does that mean to the parents of the whole company? So I'm a little confused.
No,
I love it all. I love the story. But why did that happen?
We're old enough to remember when GM sold cars for 15 years, never made any money on a car.
Right.
What kept them going? GM Finance. It was the money, stupid. So the ability to finance a commodity, in this case cars, was what kept them, not only kept them alive, but really thriving. A car, a $40,000 car, if you look at what you pay out over time, is what? 60, 80, 60, 70, 80, now with these 8-year financings, even more. The financial end of it, allows you the ability to really sell a car to anyone. How many people would buy cars for cash? Not many, especially with the average car today being $45,000 or $500,000 cars. So we had the same issue. Modular Water Systems was crushing it, tripling its revenue each year. We just announced a triple in revenue and a triple in gross profits, okay? And that's literally just selling to the people that have the cash. We found
the
out
end users.
The end users.
The businesses.
The businesses that had the $1 million or the $500,000.
And you're growing either way just with that.
Yes.
Okay.
But you're only addressing 10% or so of the market. How many people would buy a car for cash? Car salesmen would all go bankrupt.
Yeah,
okay.
That's right.
So the idea is, and this was the aha moment. It's the money stupid moment. Okay. During COVID, we came up with the idea that we didn't think anybody was going to have money. Okay, we didn't know the government was going to hand out $6 trillion. It was very nice of them, right?
Okay.
But we thought businesses were going to really struggle. The truth is, a small business is not going to deploy $1 million of capital if it doesn't have to. He doesn't want to be in the water business. Okay, so you asked me what does the synergy do? Well,
yeah, what does that do?
Water on demand is the GM finance, while Modular Water Systems is the GM. Right? Now you can't have a GM finance without a car.
Right.
Right? You can't just be a bank that finances nothing.
understand.
So what we're doing is there's a $1 trillion existing deficit in American water infrastructure. That's today. The opportunity to literally finance that is astronomical. It's phenomenal. So with this merger, this marriage it's really it's the final blending of technology and the total finance package, including all about water as a service. So what it enables us to do is to reach the other 90% perhaps of the market that says, look, I need this system, but there's no way I can deploy $1 million. Here you go, Mr. Jones. Here's your $1 million system. We're going to monitor it. We're going to fix it if it ever breaks. You're only going to pay by the gallon. Oh, by the way, this has nothing to do with you. I solve your problem with zero capital expense. If you've got really crummy credit, we'll put some additional security deposits, like you would any troubled borrower. Okay? So the problem gets solved. If they don't pay, we take it away. Here's the part that has no effect on you, and you don't care. We own the asset. We own the contract. And we now have a multi-decade relationship with you, where a few $100,000 piece of equipment can generate millions and millions of dollars of revenue over the long run. So if you look at it as a pure fintech play, yeah, that's cool, okay? Tech is going to love this because it monetizes an asset, right? But this is also about infrastructure. This is also about utility income. So even water analysts will look at this and say, wait a minute, you guys can drop a piece of $1 million equipment on a location that investors have essentially funded. And that's going to throw off many times that in revenue over 20 years. Well, that's kind of an idea I can get behind. We think both the tech analysts and the utility analysts will love it.
Wow.
The other part is it's about the parent. So OriginClear set out to become a clean water innovation hub, right? Okay. To be a clean water incubation hub, okay? Within a year of making that determination, we've successfully incubated. Now, look, we started Modular Water from zero, from scratch. We had Dan Early. That's what we had. We had this genius. We had to build everything around him, and we made major investments in him.
Right.
But we were able to transfer that technology and that whole package, the patents and everything, that company. We were able to take it from zero and transfer it to water on demand for many times our investment. That is the definition of a successful incubation. So the marriage is good. The marriage is yin and yang. They become very synergistic because it allows for the almost unlimited scalability of this decentralized private utility marketplace.
So let me ask
Sure.
one thing. This is so this enables me as an investor to buy the stock, and if a business wants to use the system, they'll be able to get financed. And me as an investor owning the stock, I make no matter what. Every time they use water, I make on fees for the machine, for the machinery to stay out there. And even if the business gets sold and the unit stays with the new owner, we still get paid.
Or if we take it back and give it to another owner. Okay, so the answer is yes.
Okay.
So in the earliest offering that we had for the company, a private offering, because again, you're not buying stock right now, company's not public yet, okay?
Right.
So you're a private investor, okay? So the answer is yes, but with recent events and with the events that we're going to be talking about in the coming weeks,
Okay.
that's not going to that's not going to be available anymore. Okay, we're going to change how we structure the financing of this company as we're graduating to kind of a bigger arena.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Exciting stuff. So Ken, if I get this straight, you figured out a way to monetize what people need for life, water. You figured out a way to make a profit forever on water?
The answer is yes. People have been profiting off of water. Public utilities have been charging for water forever, okay? Think about this. The pollution comes from upstream. So some farm is polluting water. That's how they conduct their business. Right. And they're paying the same per gallon as the guys who are trying to drink it here. It has to go through the system to be filtered. And it can't really be treated to full effect. There's millions of contaminants. So the answer is yes. We figured out how to monetize the commodity that's necessary for all life on Earth. Water on demand now becomes the full package that can help every business everywhere, regardless of what their financial condition, right, or the quality, how bad the water is. We can help every single business, theoretically, in the world that wants it and create a revenue stream for life.
So you're turning water into money.
We're turning water into money, but we're also leaving it better than we found it.
That's what's
Look,
beautiful, yeah.
Why is water such a mess? Because there was no money in treating it.
Right.
It was a pain point. It was a burden. If we unburden what's behind water treatment and we make it really viable for investors to participate, you turn a negative into a massive positive.
So basically, I come into the deal and people come into the deal and we start sharing the story. You're going to have these water machines everywhere, so we're going to be self-fulfilling the prophecy of cleaning water across the world and making money.
Listen, you got it exactly right. I mean, look, we're going to do our job to tell the story, but it's also going to be a viral. It has to be a viral thing. What we've tried to do here by combining the two companies, by creating this synergistic thing that can be infinitely scaled, we've truly figured out a way to turn water into the next global asset class. Ask yourself two questions. If you could be one of the earliest investors in that asset, I'm talking about not buying it at 10,000, I'm talking about buying it at 10, right? Would you?
Of course.
Okay. If you could go back centuries and be the first to monetize real estate, would you?
Yes.
Okay. Everyone feels that way.
I think this is even better though, because real estate, there's only so much of it, but with water, people have to keep using it. So as long as people are alive, you're going to be making money.
Water recycles. So the same water will have to constantly be treated over and over and over again. And all life on Earth depends on it being done right. If you remove the pain point and you create an actual long-term revenue-bearing asset, okay? What investor, right? There's trillions of dollars sitting on the sidelines right now of professional money. They're going, what do I do? Right? Interest rates are high, energy costs are high, we don't know what's going to, timing the market. Once the professional money starts to eye this thing and sees it for its full potential, I believe they can take it to the next level. This is our opportunity to be in front of them for a change.
Love it.
Okay.
So exciting. Serious. Wow.
That's it. Thank you, Vince.
Thank you.
Thank you.